I'm Oral Hershiser, and I am on the Blue Review. Hey, this is Sean Green. You're watching the Blue Review.
Bum, bum,
Yep.
bum, bum, bum,
Bum,
bum.
bum.
Do we do lasers for a home
Hey.
run derby? Well, it wasn't the Dodger that won it, so never
No.
mind.
Yeah, and there wasn't even Dodgers in it. Like if Teo won
But-
it again, then sure, we would have been mass whoa, pew pew. But no, it's just like, hey, guys, we have a day. We're in a day. That's just what we're
welcome,
gonna do here.
welcome everybody to a Tuesday and All-Star Day edition of the Blue Review presented by LAX. I'm Marcas Grant. That is Greg Bergman, and no actual baseball. There were baseball-like activities that took place in Philadelphia. We can talk about those, but mostly, Greg, it was a night to kind of relax and do other things, right?
So yeah, because like the Dodgers are on All Star break, and we're still going to do Blue Review, of course, because we're here every day. But at the same time, like it's my and yours All Star break as well, where we don't have to watch a baseball game every single night, and can kind of relax and maybe watch something that we would normally watch or spend time with our families. There's different things that we can do in these situations.
Yeah, so we'll get into maybe a little bit of the home run derby, but more about kind of looking back at the
Yeah.
first half of the season and maybe projecting a little bit to the second half of the season as well. But first, as always, I want to let you know that the Blue Review is powered by LAX. LAX is preparing for a huge win against traffic. The Skyline train is currently in testing to ensure it's a fast and reliable ride to every terminal. For more information, visit lawa.org/ESPN. All right. So quickly, your thoughts on the home run derby. How much did you watch? How much did you enjoy? Just your overall feeling about it.
So, I mean, I watched a decent amount, but I didn't watch the whole thing. I'm not gonna lie, because I did other things, like I went to a boxing class that made me feel better when I got home. So, but I thought overall, I thought it was exciting. It was a little bit different. I found a really cool stat from Buster Only that I wanted to get to from you, but also like the Jordan Walker ending game was awesome. Like no matter what, he only had one swing left, and he hit four consecutive home runs, and it just everybody around him, the entire stadium was booing him. They were cheering when he didn't hit a home run, and he was just so calm and just crack, crack, crack. And like the last home run was just blasted. As soon as it went off his bat, I was like, "Oh, that thing is destroyed." So I thought that was really cool. I thought it was really, really cool to watch. And the home run derby just doesn't disappoint. It just never they mess with it every year. They give you different kind of versions of it, but it's always fun to just see Jacks.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what it is. So I will admit it was on kind of in the background. You talk about spending time with the family. I was playing Minecraft with the kid. So I was like, trying to build a house next to a river or something like that, and I could kind of hear it going on. Um, but I did
Go to sleep. You
see,
gotta go to
the
sleep,
four.
Marcus. If you don't go to sleep, the phantoms come for you.
Oh, I know, like, because like then all of a sudden the ghosts and the zombies come and get you. Like, I trust me, I'm aware. Uh, but I saw the four home runs at the end, which was cool. And I think what makes home run derby fun is the sort of the big individual performances, right? It's like when you have somebody that goes off for, well, I guess you can't do, well, I guess you could do 20 home runs in a round, but like, you go off for 20, 25 home runs in a round, or a guy will go and hit like 8 or 10 in a row. Or like last night, you have a guy who comes from behind to win the thing, where you got one swing left and it's four home runs in a row to beat the hometown guy in his own park. I mean, it's drama like that. I think it's a thing. I think the next closest thing, or the thing that it most compares to, Greg, in my mind, is probably the 3-point shootout. Like I think the dunk contest is effectively dead and has been for a while, but the
No,
three
it's
point
dead.
contest still has some juice, and I think that is kind of the closest analogy I can think of for the home run derby.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think that's the 3 point is on par with it. I don't. There's just something. different about hitting a baseball really, really far. That's just fun to watch. Chicks dig the long ball, right? So,
Chicks dig the long ball.
but yeah, Buster Olney put this out. So over the last 5 years, actually, let me ask it this way first before I read that stat. So what is it to you that makes a good home run derby? Is it like the amount of home runs? Is it coming from behind? Like, what is it that gets you excited about the home run derby?
I think first off, it is like, when you have drama at the end, right? Where a guy needs 1 or 2 home runs to win it. And, you have the drama of the other guy kind of sitting there and it's out of his hands. You're just watching and hoping that you hang on. So like, there's that part of it. But then just the individual feats where you have, one guy who hits a ton of home runs in a round. And maybe it's the first round, but just watching these dudes launch baseball after baseball and going and hitting 20, 25 home runs in a short amount of time. I think those are the 2 things to me that make for a good home run derby.
Yeah. Okay. So it works then, because I think most people would think like, oh, I want to see a ton of home runs, but there's also a lot of people that are like, I'd want to see the home run and not just, a ball in the air and he's already swinging again. So you actually miss the home run. Over the past 5 years, the home run derby averaged with the clock was 275 home runs. Last night, over about the same amount of time, was 131 home runs. So it was a double less, or it was half. It was half of the amount of home runs typically, but people still love this home run derby because you got to see every single home run. Now, it did drag a little bit in the middle, but the fact is that when you can hit a home run, watch the majestic rise of the baseball that lands into the outfield, and people are into the stands and people are cheering, and then you get to see the next pitch and then him swing again. Like, it's not over swinging. You get to see everything, and I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, I mean, and I know that people were worried about the change in format, right? That if you go to 20 swings instead of going to the clock, that you're going to have guys standing there and taking pitches. You didn't have a ton of that, and I don't know if that came down from Major League Baseball, like, hey guys, we just can't have you standing around waiting for your perfect pitch, or if it's just that the pitchers were that good, or what it was. But I think that was a lot of people's fear, and it didn't seem to happen last night. So maybe this format works. Maybe it's going to be good. So we'll see. But last night was fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
I don't know if you saw the supposed controversy about what happened last night with Jordan Walker. Or more with Netflix allegedly spoiling what happened. I don't know if you saw any of that.
No, I didn't. I mean, I was watching him hit, but I didn't know.
So
what
midway
happened?
through, I think before the final round, there was a shot, and it was like a shot of Bryce Harper, like in the dugout or on the side or something like that. But the graphics said Jordan Walker, 2026 home run derby champ. But this was before the final round had happened. So now I
What?
guess there's conspiracy theories that somehow Netflix rigged the whole thing, which I think is ridiculous, because how do you rig a guy hitting home runs? It just doesn't work that way for me.
No, it seems like they had a graphic. They probably had one ready for Jordan Walker, and they had one ready for Kyle Schwarber. And you can't rig how many times a guy hits a ball out of the park. It's just not possible. Like, you still need the pitcher to throw the ball and the hitter to hit the ball, even if you want someone to win. That's not really no, that's nonsense to me. I can't even see how that would even be possible.
The internet, man. It's just the internet at work is what that is. That's all I got for you there. All right. Let's kind of dive back, because we were talking about this before the show, kind of digging back into the first half of the season. I think we can kind of look back at the first half today, and then a little later in the week, we can kind of look ahead, I think, to the second half of the season, if that's fair.
Yeah, let's do it.
So let's just start with, who is your biggest surprise of the first half? Could be a pleasant surprise, could be a, man, this went a lot worse than I thought it was going to be, but your biggest surprise of the first half.
So I'm going to go Justin Wrobleski. I did not expect him to have one of the best ERAs on the team. I did not expect him to be as, frankly, dominant as he has been for the entire season, and where the guy is going 7 innings pretty consistently and being one of the most steady of the guys in the starting rotation. I mean, when you have Yamamoto and Ohtani and Snell and Glasnow, even though Glasnow doesn't really count because he never really actually pitches during the season, and neither does Snell for that matter. But, of all those guys, and Sasaki I figured would be that guy. Wroblewski stepped in and was just the guy the entire first half of the season. Been so impressed with him. For a guy that only throws 2 pitches too, he's trying to throw it a third one every once in a while, but for the most part, going in there and just pitching as if he's a reliever, but as a starter, and just getting dudes out. And he's found his velocity a little bit towards the end. He's found his swing and miss. He's found his strikeout stuff. I've been really, really impressed with everything Justin Wroblewski has done. And he seems like he could be a piece for the future.
Yeah, he really does. For a guy who came in, who started the year in the bullpen, filled into the rotation, and I think we all at the time believed, okay, this is going to be a short-term thing. People get healthy. It's going to be back to the 5 or 6 guys that we anticipated it being. But at this point, he has locked himself in, and hopefully this continues in the second half. But he definitely seems like a piece that is immovable, so that when Snell and Glasnow come back,
we'll see.
Right, Wroblewski's certainly not the first name we're talking about moving out of the rotation when that happens. So my guy, kind of in a similar vein, is Eric Lauer. Because
I like that one.
We didn't think he would still be here at this point, right? We figured he was going to be a short-term, kind of a stopgap, an innings eater. But hey, he's just sort of keeping a seat warm, maybe for River Ryan, maybe for one of the other guys when they come back. And when Lauer pitches, like don't get it twisted. It doesn't look like when Yamamoto pitches or anything like that. People who love the Law and Sausage and Eric Lauer starts should watch neither one being made, because it's going to give you a little bit of indigestion. But in the end, it's been successful, right? He's giving you quality starts. The Dodgers have won every time he has pitched so far this season. The ERA is significantly lower than it was in Toronto. And when it's all said and done, Eric Lauer is probably not going to be in the rotation when everybody's healthy. There's a good chance he may not be on this team in September. I don't know. But to this point, Greg, he has been way more than anything we could have imagined when he first showed up in LA.
Yeah, if he's not a trade candidate galore, I don't know who is. There's going to be a team that needs a starting pitch. The Dodgers obviously have a plethora of starting pitchers. I could see Eric, and I've talked about this with Travis too. He brought it up at once. The fact that he is a guy that a team is going to need him, and then you can just replenish a little bit of your minor league system. That's because that's what the Dodgers do. They bring these guys, they get them to be what they want them to be, and then they move them and get in some prospects. He's not going to bring anything amazing, but he's going to bring some guys that Andrew Friedman, which he's really good at, go out and just be like, I don't know, give me that guy. And then he turns into a top 5 prospect in all of baseball because he has that mind for it. He's just amazing. But I could just see that happening, couldn't you? That's who he's going to be for this team. I can't see him being on the pitching staff come October.
No, I don't think so. And it's kind of back to what we said at the beginning, right? If he's still on the staff in October, right, something went really wrong, right? That means you've had probably a couple of injuries. It's like things that I don't even want to think about if he were still to be around in October. So, but he has been incredible. Again, for a guy that we thought was hey man, he's going to take the ball every 5th or 6th day. Let's just hope he can, get through some starts without completely blowing up. And now he's been a guy that you have a level of confidence that at least the Dodgers are going to have a legitimate chance to win when he takes the baseball. So definitely not a thing I was expecting to say about Eric Lauer a couple of months ago.
No.
All right. So then on the flip side, who is the biggest disappointment and why is it Kyle Tucker?
Could there possibly be a other name other than Kyle Tucker? I don't think because everybody has played up to their level of baseball for the most part or exceeded it. Mookie Betts could have been on this list as somebody that was a disappointment, but he turned his season around and he looks like Mookie Betts again. He's still going to go up and down. He's still going to have some bad games, but he looks like Mookie Betts again. You can't. Sasaki didn't really expect anything out of, so it's not really a disappointment. Maybe it's oh man, that stinks. I would have liked a little bit more, but Kyle Tucker coming in at $60 million and going to right field, which we talked about over and over again, how important right field was for this team, and just not really playing great defense and not finding any type of power stroke whatsoever. It just feels like Kyle Tucker is absolutely the only answer. I like really, if you think about it, I can't think of another guy that's even close to Kyle Tucker in this category.
No, I mean, hence why he ended up as my villain so far this season,
And you
because
did great.
you mentioned it. Thanks. You mentioned it. Like the OPS is well below what we've seen in his career. The batting average has been down from what we have seen. The power numbers are way down. And on top of it, you pointed out, like, I have been unimpressed with his defense so far
Right.
in right field. I mean, I thought that was going to be the big draw, that, like, even if somehow the bat didn't show up, not that we were anticipating that, but that the defense was going to get better after watching Teo out in right field last year. And I don't know, it's slightly better, maybe, but it is not so improved that you feel like, okay, well, this is at least a thing that he is adding. So far, he's just kind of been there.
Yeah.
Now he was sort of heating up just before the All-Star break. Hopefully this break doesn't slow him down, so that we got to start back over again with Kyle Tucker. But I mean, for all the expectations, I mean, look, this was the signing that was going to ruin baseball, right? This was the
Right.
thing the Dodgers did that was going to completely ruin baseball, and there's no way around it now. We're absolutely going to have a work stoppage because the Dodgers keep hoarding Infinity Stones. But like, this one just has not worked out so far this season. There's still time, and there's still another year, at least one more year, that Kyle Tucker's going to be in Los Angeles. But man, this has been a big disappointment so far this season.
Yeah. I'm going through the roster right now and I'm looking and like I can't put anybody. Teo was hurt for a while, and so he's just coming back and he's not figuring himself out, but he's not uh, Kyle Tucker's been playing every single game. Will Smith was also struggling, but he's injured and has been injured now for a month. I can't say anything. Shohei Otani is just Shohei, and we talk about how amazing he is once a week, at least. Tanner Scott figured himself out. I don't have anybody else. There's nobody else that I can point to and say that guy has been disappointing. Roki would be the closest,
Yeah,
but he's young and kind of expected.
yeah. I mean, that's kind of it. All right. So then, who is your first half MVP for the Dodgers? I mean, is it Shohei? Is it somebody else?
I mean, the easy answer is Shohei, but I'm gonna go with Andy Pajes because even though has his up and down moments, the beginning of the season he was absolutely carrying this team, and I don't know where he is exactly when it comes to stats and when it comes to RBIs in all of baseball. He's right there at the top though, and has been right there at the top. He got himself into the All Star game because of his defense and because of his offense. He's looked so much better than what anybody expected. And honestly, the first 2 months of the season was because Andy Pajes was playing well. Freddie was struggling. Mookie was struggling. Shohei was actually for him was struggling. Muncy was playing really well. I could have gone with Muncy, but I think I got to go with Andy Pajes for the offense and the defense that he's shown at center field, which is a premium position.
Yeah, I think I'm with you on that too, because you're right. He really did carry this team for the first part of the season when everybody was still trying to figure themselves out a little bit. And I mean, he's done it by hitting kind of everywhere in the lineup, right? He started the year
Yeah.
hitting lower in the lineup. He's continually moved up the lineup as he was continuing to produce, and for a while has taken on the burden of that second spot, which has been a boat anchor around everybody's neck so far this year. He hasn't really been immune to it, but he's jumped in there and he's tried to produce at that spot. And I think the defense too. I mean, if we're gonna talk about how the defense in right field has been underwhelming, we should talk about how the defense in center field has been outstanding. So yeah, I mean, he's well deserving of an All-Star vote, especially after last year when he got so close and couldn't quite get there. Glad to see him there this year, and I do wonder. Look, even if he doesn't have a great start to the season, I still think the Dodgers are above 500. They're still leading the division. I don't know that they're leading it by double digits and have the best record in baseball without Andy Pages having pretty much a 400 start to the season. Like, I just don't think they'd be there without that. So, I'm with you on Andy Pages. But Shohei gets honorable mention just because he exists. he shows up. I mean, he shows up to the ballpark, you know.
Yeah, right. And he's Shohei Ohtani. But let's put Max Muncy in there too. Max Muncy had got himself into an all-star, has been great offensively, and honestly, besides this last week where he just completely forgot how to play third base, or at least how to catch a ball, he has been fantastic over there. He's been the best third baseman in all of baseball. But when you have guys like Manny Machado over in that position who just can't hit, he has been defensively really, really good. He has some picks where you're like, dude, Muncy, where did that come from? Yeah. You wouldn't be doing anything like that 2 years ago. So I'm impressed with Muncy too. Muncy makes wheels, by the way. Got a little faster, it seems like.
Who knows? He was like, I don't know, he's training with a 400-meter track team or something in the offseason. I don't know. He's beating out ground balls. I mean, taking extra bases. Yeah. Not used to seeing this Max Muncy at all. But I think that's a cool one. I'd also say, look, some others receiving votes. I would throw a couple of these bullpen guys like Will Klein, Edgardo Enriquez, just because I think Tanner Scott, they just deserve some recognition for what they've done in the first half. I know everybody kind of sleptwalked through that last series before the break, but all first half long, these guys were really key to helping the Dodgers get to where they are while they're still waiting for, Edwin Diaz to come back, for instance. So, yeah. All-Star game tonight from Philadelphia. We'll see a few of our Dodgers in action. Max Muncy, Freddie Freeman, Andy Pages. I would assume, Greg, we see Yamamoto maybe throw an inning in this one, but should be fun.
Maybe
the Major League All-Star game is close because it's fun because it's closest to like the actual sport compared to the other ones.
Yeah, like Travis has always said too, is that you have to play in this game. You can't lollygag this. If a ball is coming at you, you have to catch it. You have to get the grounder. You have to go get the ball. You have to throw it. You have to actually swing at pitches. You can't really just kind of. It's not like NBA where you can just like watch a guy walk by because he wants to have
throw lobs,
360 windmill dunk. Or it's you have to play in this game.
Yeah,
last year was awesome. By the way, Kyle Schwarber in the swing off was awesome. Last year.
It was great. Yeah, if we get to a swing off, it's like it's like the baseball version of PKs. Like I would be down for that if it happened again this year. Right. So we'll find out, and we'll talk about it again here tomorrow. Also, we'll try to get Bruce Kuntz on at some point this week, just because the draft has happened, so we can. You
want to do Wednesday or Thursday?
When are they back in action? Maybe we do Wednesday.
Friday.
Wednesday. Okay, they're back on Friday. Okay, so we can do Thursday. We can do Thursday then. That works.
Thursday.
I don't know.
Okay.
We're producing here on air, everybody. Don't worry about it. Anyway, it's time for us to wrap it up. Stick around for the Sedano and Cap morning extravaganza coming up right after us. Thanks to everybody in the chat for hanging out. Thanks to Carlo for production assistance. But that'll do it for this edition of the Blue Review presented by LAX. For Greg, I am Marcus. We'll see you again here tomorrow, 6:30, 6:55, right here on the ESPN LA YouTube channel. Enjoy the All-Star game, everybody. See ya.
See ya.